Coming up, the U.S. sends tanks to help aid Ukraine. And later, more updates within the Iowa 2023 legislative session.
The most anticipated wrestling meet of the year is finally here.
The weather staying pretty consistent in Iowa City. Expect more snow and chilly days.
This is DITV News at 8:30. Good morning, and thank you for tuning in live to DITV and KRUI 89.7 FM. I'm Samantha Bielema. On Wednesday, the United States joined Germany in aiding the ongoing war in Ukraine. The U.S. will be sending 31 M1 Abrams tanks to the Ukraine, along with Germany sending 14 Leopard 2 tanks.
The United States has worked in lockstep with our allies and partners around the world to make sure the Ukrainian people are in the strongest possible position to defend their nation.
German tanks are supposed to be delivered to the Ukraine in 2 to 3 months, but America's tanks will take longer. Experts predict it could take multiple months for America's tanks to reach the Ukraine. The process will include buying the tanks from a private contractor, and the tanks will not be taken from existing stockpiles. And with the Iowa legislative session still going on, more laws and changes are being made for Iowans. We have here DITV reporter Johnny Valtman in the newsroom with more. Johnny, while Iowa's seeing some huge changes and laws are getting passed, what are some other proposed bills that have gone under the radar?
Hi, Samantha. Well, there have been 2 bills that have been going underneath the radar for multiple Iowans. The first one being newly elected District Attorney Brenna Bird. In the case of illegal drugs being distributed that result in a death, that would be then classified as a Class B felony. The second one, a subcommittee recommending to the state for the universities to report on terms being used at those colleges.
For the first bill, how big of a change is a Class B felony compared to a Class C one?
Well, Samantha, it is a huge one. A Class C felony has a minimum sentence of 10 years and a maximum of 25 years. However, a Class B felony, we would see a minimum of 25 years in jail, and there is no limit to how long that sentence could be.
The second bill includes universities such as Iowa. How would the university be affected?
The University of Iowa would then be required to report on definitions, terms, and topics. In the bill, a list of terms has been provided that all universities throughout Iowa would have to report to the state by a February 27th deadline. I've reached my deadline. I'll send it back to you, Samantha.
Thanks, Johnny. Former University of Iowa student Alexander Jackson was found guilty for murdering his parents and sister in the summer of 2022 on Wednesday. Jackson alleged that an intruder broke into the home and committed the crimes. The trial began on January 13th. Deliberation took place on Tuesday and Wednesday. 6th Judicial Judge Lars Anderson gave the verdict for the jury that found him guilty for the murders. With 3 first-degree murders, Jackson could potentially see life in prison for some of his offenses. Jackson's sentence hearing and future will be decided on March 3rd. This week has been a cold start to our semester. Ashley, should I start getting used to this cold and snow?
Well, Samantha, unfortunately, I think you are correct. We will have to be getting used to the snow and cold. Luckily, I am nice and warm, and so are you in the studio today, but we can look live now at a live shot of campus. It's actually outside Carver Hawkeye Arena today, where it is currently 28 degrees. Today, we will have a high of 36 degrees with cloudy skies and snow showers and flurries expected in the morning hours. Tonight, expect it to only get colder with a low of 18 degrees. Tomorrow looks to bring even more snow, however, with snow showers expected throughout the day. There will be a high of 22 and a low of only 8 degrees that night. And as we look forward to the rest of the week, Sunday, the sun might peek out just a little bit, but temps are not getting much better. We'll see a chilly 15 degrees expected during the day and a frigid low of only 2 degrees in the evening. Early next week looks to be pretty consistent with Sunday, with more partly cloudy skies and some frigid temps throughout the evenings. So I would not recommend this be the weekend to go out and spend more time than you need to be outside. So stay inside if you can. Back to you, Samantha.
Thanks, Ashley. On Wednesday, an explosion occurred at Metro Motors building in Delaware Township. Located in Polk County, the police were called around 4:25 p.m. after reports of an explosion. The fire was contained and put out after firefighters and authorities arrived. Tad Castillo of Johnson owns a repair shop and was present during the explosion and fire. He was rushed to the hospital but had died later that day due to his injuries. Firefighters will continue their investigation and to find the cause of the fire. The Iowa City Council voted earlier this week on their first two considerations. Experienced amateur boxers requested to hold a match at the Graduate Hotel located in the Penn Mall. The consideration is to allow liquor license establishments to host amateur boxing events. There was an ordinance set in 2007 that banned any type of fighting in places that sell alcohol to their patrons. In a unanimous vote this week, the council favored the consideration changing the ordinance and allowing the events. And 2023 marks the 60th anniversary for the Sonic food chain. With the anniversary, Sonic is looking to add 10 new locations in eastern Iowa. Looking at the map of Iowa, the new locations are planned to span from Des Moines all the way to Davenport. Previous chains were located in Waterloo, Cedar Rapids, and Coralville, but were all sadly closed by 2011. Iowa currently only has 7 Sonic drive-in locations. While no specific locations have been announced yet, fast food lovers are ready for these new locations to pop up around the state by the end of this year. Now let's send it over to DITV Sports with Michael Merrick.
Thanks, Samantha. The number 2 ranked Iowa wrestling team has stayed undefeated all season long. They've had to battle to the end of many meets. But tonight, the Hawks have a chance to make the jump to the number 1 team in the country. DITV sports reporter AJ Risetter is outside Carver Hawkeye Arena. AJ, what should we expect in the most anticipated duel of the season?
Thanks, Michael. The Iowa Hawkeyes will certainly have their hands full tonight with the Penn State Nittany Lions. But with the chance to knock out the number 1 team in the country, anything is possible.
No, it doesn't matter because rankings don't mean anything in the grand scheme of things. It's just a number that people put to try and hype up matches. So it doesn't matter if the guy's number 1 in the country or if he's from a different country. It doesn't matter. I don't care. Because at the end of the day, you have to go out there and you got to do your job.
Easy for Spencer Lee to say because he is the number 1 wrestler in the country. However, he and the rest of the Hawkeyes will have to step up under the brightest lights as all eyes will be on tonight's matchup. Last year, Penn State edged out Iowa 19-13 in Iowa City and went on to win the national championship, while Iowa took the back seat in second. This will also be a rematch of the 197-pound national championship between Max Dean and Jacob Warner. Since 2008, the NCAA championships have been dominated by Penn State and Iowa, with the Nittany Lions winning 4 in a row before Iowa stole the crown in 2021. But now Iowa has a chance for redemption, and it all starts tonight in Happy Valley.
It is an opportunity. It's a fun environment. That's what you want. We have a great environment here. They have a great environment there. You know what? Competitors thrive in those situations. And the other thing is how much do you crave a challenge?
Well, Penn State will certainly give Iowa a challenge tonight, but for 133-pounder Brody Teske, it'll be like going to see the ex-girlfriend as he is back at where his collegiate wrestling career began. Teske redshirted his first season at Penn State, going 6-2 unattached, and in 2019 went 5-2 before transferring to Northern Iowa and eventually to the Hawkeyes. There are sure to be plenty of fireworks tonight, and you can catch all the matches live on Big Ten Network starting at 7:30. Now back to you in the warm studio, Michael.
Thanks, AJ, and thank you for being outside in the cold for that. And the Iowa Hawkeye men's basketball team was on the road last night, so they would look to bounce back from their disappointing loss against Ohio State as they traveled to East Lansing to take on the Michigan State Spartans, Iowa would get multiple good looks to win the game at the buzzer, but the Hawks just could not buy a bucket, making only 1 field goal in the final 6 minutes of the game.
And, we got good shots. We didn't make them, and then we missed free throws. You got to make your free throws. We had an opportunity with a good look at a three, and then a second good look at a three. You're going to take it.
And while Iowa will have a 3-game home stretch on the deck, it won't be a cakewalk at all. Iowa will take on Rutgers on Sunday and make up the postponed Northwestern game on Tuesday. And to close the homestand, Iowa has heated rival Illinois on deck. Iowa will have to go to their bench and test the talent of their depth, as the Hawks will have played 3 games in just 5 days before the matchup against the Fighting Illini next Saturday. Keeping it on the court, the Iowa women's basketball team gets to stay in Iowa City, as they will return back to Carver Hawkeye Arena tomorrow at noon, where they'll face the Nebraska Cornhuskers. The Hawks had a short 2-game road stint, but haven't played in front of the Hawkeye faithful in nearly 2 weeks. Despite this, Iowa has still felt some Beatle-esque type love when they hit the road.
But the opponent's fans, I definitely see that kind of rock star status. I mean, there's, kids from the opposing team that have Caitlin Clark posters and asking her for autographs.
If LeBron or whoever, Trae Young, is like reaching out, she's always focused on Iowa. And I'm sure it is pretty cool to see some stars reach out, but I think it just is great for the game and it's great for this program.
Iowa will need to stay out on the perimeter heavily against Nebraska, as the Cornhuskers made the 2nd most threes in the Big Ten, only behind the Hawkeyes. This will tip off a 3-game and 8-day stretch for the Hawks, and it will be crucial for them to continue their winning ways if they want to reach a #1 seed come March. And the Iowa women's basketball team won't be the only team at home this weekend, as the Iowa women's gymnastics team will be hosting the Minnesota Gophers in their home opener today at Carver Hawkeye Arena at 6:30 p.m. At the meet, they will be celebrating and honoring 50 years of Iowa women's athletics. The Hawkeyes are currently ranked 15th nationally and top 25 in the vault, bars, beam, and floors. Junior Adeline Kenlin will be the gymnast to watch today, as she was named co-Big Ten Gymnast of the Week. Kenlin earned this title in the meet against the Ohio State Buckeyes last Sunday. In all 3 events that she competed in, she earned a 9.85 or higher. Adeline is currently ranked 17th nationally on floors, ranked 6th in the conference overall. If these Hawkeyes want to defeat the Minnesota Gophers tonight, Kenlin and the rest of the Hawks will have to step up in the home opener. And the Iowa men's and women's track team hit the road for the first time this season, as they will compete in the Razorback Invitational in Arkansas today. The women's team won their home invite last weekend, edging Illinois by 6 points. And junior Myrina Beebe broke the school record in the 60-meter hurdles, registering an 8.11, which sits at 6th best in the NCAA this season. On the men's side, they will be looking to rely on sophomore Genoa McIver, who currently owns the fastest 400-meter time in the Big Ten Conference at 46.26, which is also good for 7th in the nation. Come back Monday for more on Hawkeye Sports. Now let's send it back to Samantha.
Thanks, Michael, and thanks for tuning in to DITV News and KRUI 89.7 FM. I'm Samantha Bielema.